Hey, welcome. You tuned in to another edition of Homage Speaks, or Homage is Due, Homage is Paid, and we got to jump right into it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Fresh Perspective, PHRESH Perspective, and you also can find us on www.freshperspective.com. And you can also follow us on Facebook, and we can get it done. Hey, Ed, I see you. But let's go to work. As y'all know, for the past 17 years, the New England Patriots have been one of the top, if not the top franchises in all of sports. They have been miraculous in their ability to continue to win and win often, taking advantage of one of the worst divisions in football. But they're always able to get it done. And with the consistency of Mr. Kraft, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick always been on the same path, they're able to draft players. They're able to build their team through the draft, develop their players correctly, so they are able to maximize the ability of their players without having to pay them max money. What's been going on for the past 3 to 4 years that the Patriots have been able to keep on the wraps is the role of Bill Belichick and the rise of Tom Brady. Tom Brady, as we all know, has been the man. But in Patriot land, Bill Belichick was the alpha and omega. But over the past couple of years, Tom Brady has been becoming a real problem. He has been able to change some of his tactics in the way he approached the game and has decided to develop the brand TB12. He neglected to do that for at least 10 years of his career, but since 2013, I believe, he has been trying to set up life after football, which makes perfect sense to me. But he has a personal friend, business associate, godfather to his children, and personal trainer, Mr. Guerrero. Mr. Guerrero is a guy who has been around, who's been given permission to be around the facility. And at one point, he was on the training staff. At another point, they took him off the training staff. At another point, they left him on as a team consultant. And I think that was all done to try to appease the likings of Mr. Tom Brady. But Bill Belichick has said no more. Bill Belichick has elected to remove him, revoked him of all privileges this season. He had access to players. He had access to sideline passes. He was the man with the plan in the organization. It got to the point to where everybody know that Tom Brady has his own training regimen, and he has been recommending that training regimen to some of the players when they get injured. And that goes against the policies and procedures that have been set by the Patriots organization. When you get hurt, you're supposed to go to see the team doctors. You're supposed to go to see the team trainers, the team therapists, and they're supposed to be the one who instructs you on how to rehab and get things back in order. But Mr. Guerrero has been bucking the system. Now, they do not have any record of those players who has seen him and how his treatment has improved or not improved the conditions of the players that elected to go to him. The only evidence that we have is the evidence of Tom Brady. But make no mistake about it, Tom Brady has been the man in that franchise. But Bill Belichick, being the GM of the franchise as well as the head coach and the leader of the franchise, he elected to start building and moving toward the future and also designing a program where we can win now. The draft pick of Jimmy Garoppolo was that pick. Jimmy Garoppolo was brought in to be developed and be the predecessor of Tom Brady. That's what he was there to do. Learn from Tom. Also, Tom took it as a challenge. The young boy trying to take my spot, but I'm going to show him how to become a professional, how to be a great quarterback by not only watching what I do, but allowing you to see what it's like to compete against somebody and win. That's what he decided to do. Now, coming upon this season, they have franchised Jimmy Garoppolo 2 seasons back-to-back. They did this for a reason. They was trying to set him up for the future. He had an opportunity to play last year in two ball games and played miraculously well before he got injured. Showed great promise, showed everybody all they needed to see for Jimmy G. And if you didn't think Jimmy G was the truth, you better look at what he's doing with the most complicated verbatim offense outside of John Gruden's offense to grasp and maintain. And this guy's already pumping in San Francisco. Ain't even been there for a season yet. Took 2 weeks They didn't start in the first 2 weeks. Guess that was the 2 weeks he needed to get the playbook done. Once he got the playbook in, steamroll. 49ers on their way, and they got him for nothing. So, back to Tom. Tom has reiterated time and time again that he is wanting to play well into his 40s. No disrespect to Tom Brady. You can do that. You're in miraculous shape. You haven't had any injuries, but you can do that. The thing is, you got to do that at the expense of a franchise that need to start building life without Thomas Brady. But we can't do that if Tom Brady still want top dollar, still want to play, all that. That's well and good. But that can't work. That cannot work with the Patriots going forward. Because we all know Buffalo is coming. New York Jets, they are almost there. They just need a quarterback. And Miami Dolphins, we'll see what they look like with Tannehill. But they got a good defense. They got a good secondary. They got a good skill position. They need just somebody to execute the offense from the quarterback position, whoever that player may be. So I say this in closing. The Patriots are on the farewell tour. This is it. This is the last hurrah. We all know they win Super Bowls every other year. I guess y'all got to understand that this is the other year. They won last year. So now this year they got to lose. But when they go down this time, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be bad. You better stay away from the Jaguars. But, you're going to get a show this season. You're either going to get the farewell tour, and it's going to look real bad when they go down. Because contrary to popularity belief, those guys have not been playing great football the last 4 weeks. And also, Tom Brady, after week 12, in the last 3 seasons, after week 12, his play starts to diminish. Last year, he only played 3 games after week 12 because he sat out the first 4 weeks. Mind you, the first game against the Houston Texans, he went 18 for 38. That wasn't a good game. If they had quality quarterback play, they might have would have lost that game. But we're not going to get into that because some people are going to say I'm hating, but we all saw that game. And we know what that game could have been if the Houston Texans had a quarterback. But at the same time, their inability to hold on to Jimmy G, franchising him for 2 years made no sense to me. I don't think he's going to come back. I think the San Francisco 49ers are going to throw the check at him, and they're going to throw enough money at him to make him the guy for their franchise going forward. I don't think they're going to let that get away. He made too much promise. He made too much noise. He won too many big games against teams that they were not supposed to win up against. So Jimmy G, I look at him for being the first splash of John Lynch's career, signing him to big time money. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. Kirk Cousins, I'm sorry, man. The guy Jimmy G looked like you stuck with Washington, but there's a couple teams out there that could use your services. If you want to take a trip on the favorite rocket ship, you know what I'm talking about? But let's just go ahead and be clear and close it. I need y'all to understand, and I need y'all to understand this real clear. Bill Belichick is one of the greatest, if not the greatest coach in the history of football. His ability to learn from Bill Parcells and then take what he learned from Bill Parcells and then make it his own is nothing short of amazing, miraculous. He's a great defensive mind. He is one of the best coaches that we have seen in any sport in situational greatness. I think that's what separates him from most coaches. When it's time, when the time gets close, when it's time to make the right decision, Bill Belichick makes the right decision almost 85 to 90% of the time. And that is something that is very amazing and something that cannot be taken away from him. No different than Tommy Brady. No different than Tom Brady. Tom Brady is great. I love Drew Brees. That's my favorite quarterback all time. He got the numbers to prove it. I'm hoping that, and not at the expense of the Falcons, that the Patriots and the Saints can meet in the Super Bowl, and Tom Brady and Drew Brees meet on the biggest stage, and Drew Brees take care of them. That's just my personal wish. I know a lot of people not going to agree with it, but I think number 9 is the man. But make no mistake about it, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. I cannot dispute this for the fact that I like greatness. And when it's money time, you know Tom going to get it done. If you need a field goal, he will get your team in field goal position. If you need a touchdown, he will lead them down to the touchdown more times than he won't. But my personal favorite is the number 9. But with that being said, this marks another edition of Humble Speaks. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Now I'm finna head over to Facebook Live, and we're going to get into some more debate. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless, and y'all have a happy day.